What's up, everybody? It's Trueflight here, and we're back in the crew, and going to start splitting up my Summit Qualifier videos. That seems to be the normal thing to do now. I was recording them all as one long video, but it seems people get more interested in them if there's multiple shorter ones. So we're going to be doing the different events as separate videos and see how that works. I'm actually about to go qualify here because the new one just started up. So we'll get in and do some random qualifying stuff here. These events are kind of fun, but they do get boring, so I don't mind. Normally I don't record them, but I don't mind doing it this time because we're going to be talking about other stuff. This car is so twitchy. I'm trying to play with the keyboard right now instead of the wheel because I didn't hook it up this morning. It's a very twitchy car. I may have to get the wheel out before this is done. Or at least switch cars. But again, these qualifier stuff, they're kind of fun if you have a bunch of friends and you do them all together. That was the worst spin out ever. We're going to switch over to a bike, actually. Since I'm using the keyboard anyway. Wasting time here. Take out the Ninja. Oops, I was in the right camera angle and change it. Yeah, if we're going to use keyboard anyway, we might as well use a bike. Anyway, the last few days I messed around with a lot of streaming setups trying to get myself going there, and the downside I ran into is that my whoa, that sucked. My CPU's been having issues since the beginning of the year. I burned up a my cooling unit, the pump in it burned out, and it overheated, and I think I damaged the chip. And I keep getting these weird freezes for no reason. And it doesn't help. I'm running a 9590, which is a 4.7 gigahertz chip, turbos to 5. And it seems... I gotta stop talking and start driving. It seems to be a common issue with those. Under heavy load, one of the cores just kind of freezes up. And every single person has a video up on YouTube of, well, I had the problem, this is how I fixed it. I had the problem, this is how I fixed it. And unfortunately, none of those fixes worked for me. Tried disabling the cool and quiet, which is dumb anyway, and disabled the turbo, of course, and all the other various things like that. Even tried to go in and actually underclock. Oh, I'm not watching. I'm supposed to be going somewhere. I even went in and underclocked the thing all the way down to 4 gigahertz and still ran into issues. So, definitely think I have a faulty chip. Put in a warranty claim for it. Gotta send it away to get the replacement, which really sucks because that means I'm going to be without a chip for God knows how many weeks while they decide if they're even going to replace it or not, and then send me a new one. All that fun stuff. Pretty much from what I've been looking at, I'm probably going to end up replacing the thing anyway and just going to a 8350, which is a 4 gig chip. It's basically the same chip. The 8350 is... Oh, I totally went the long way around, and I'm looking at the map now where I'm going. The 9590 is actually a 8350 that's basically factory overclocked. So this is going to put me down to the base chip, but the base chip is a lot more stable, even to the point that a lot of people have massive success overclocking those. just seems odd enough, but I've seen people overclock the 8350 to 5.5 gigahertz, while the 4.7 9590 has stability issues. It's just interesting how that works. I think part of it is they tried the 9590 is also a 200 or 220 watt chip, and the 8350 is a 125 watt chip. So the massive difference in power there is also generates a massive difference in the amount of heat they put out. So that might have something to do with it. But yeah, I tried everything I could think of to get mine to run stable, and no matter what I do, it seems to have some sort of issue. So gonna see about the warranty replacement, and hopefully that takes care of the issue. I don't think it's going to, sadly. When I first built the computer, it ran for probably 2 months before I started having issues. The normal seems to be 6 months or so, and the chip starts having issues. So we'll see how it goes. I'll get the replacement. If it doesn't take care of the problem, I'm going to have to look into downgrading the chip, at least for now. The Zen chips are coming out next year, so we'll see. Whoa! Yeah. We'll see what becomes of those, but for now, if things don't work out, I might have to downgrade to a 4 gig. Oh, the horror. The only thing that really annoys me is because of the power requirements for the... And so the game crashed on me while I was doing that. To prove my point, I think. So sadly, I can't do too much with the computer the way it is without it having issues. So I'm going to have to send it in for that warranty repair. What I was saying as it died on me was that the problem I ran into is that because I got the 9590, I also went with a higher end motherboard, which I really didn't need because it was the only thing at the time that could support the power requirements. And I went with liquid cooling instead of standard cooling, which I didn't need. Well, I need for the 9590, but I won't need if I downgrade. So it just annoys me overall. Sadly, a lot of the reviews on the locking up issues and things for the 9590 weren't common knowledge when I bought it. So, really didn't have that to look at and decide. I already qualified, but I'm still doing this just because I feel like it. You also get extreme points for every level you pass. Of course, I had to start over at level 1. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're looking at here. I'm gonna try the whole warranty thing, but I don't have high hopes that the new one won't do the same thing 4 to 6 months down the road. If I do have another issue with it, I may very well see if they will downgrade it for me instead of replacing it with the same one that's just gonna keep having the same issue. Not sure if they'll do that, but otherwise I might have to wait a few months and just deal with it, and eventually see what the Zen chips are going to be like next year, or save up a little bit and downgrade to that 8350. I've heard nothing but good things about the 8350 though, so at least there's that. All the Intel fans are out there laughing hysterically, and to be honest, this issue started from nothing that had nothing to do with AMD. It was a cooling issue. My water pump burn up. I'm not even paying attention to what my objective is here. But I will give you the fact that the 9590 is a crappy chip now that I've had one and looked through it. The little bit of extra speed it gives just is not worth the issues. That said, if you manage to get one running stable, which I've seen some people do, at least temporarily, on, what are we up to now, DirectX 12? On DirectX 12 programs and things, it kills the best thing that NVIDIA has, or the best thing that Intel has out right now. For standard stuff and DX11 stuff, not so much. I still think it's on par when it's working well with their higher end stuff. Benchmark wise though, yeah, on normal things you really don't notice that much of a difference. I'm supposed to be doing wheelies. Yeah, normal programs you're not going to notice that much of a difference, but definitely on DX12 related stuff, there's a huge reported difference between the 9590 and Intel's competitor chip there. But like I said, in most of my builds and things, I've put it in most of my write-ups I do on things, I just prefer AMD because of the price difference. If you're going to make a build, get yourself an 8350. They're pretty cheap nowadays. Go off that, and the $200-300 you save over your closest Intel chip in comparison, put it towards a better graphics card, and you're going to notice a heck of a lot more improvement there than you're going to notice the difference in the chips. Now that may change when Zen comes out here next year. I have no idea on that, so eagerly awaiting that. Oh, you have to be on the wrong side of the road. So, if you're looking at building a system right now, it may be worth your while to wait and see how that works out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna die. Saw that coming. In the meantime, I'm going to tear my computer apart, get the chip out, gotta mail it back to AMD so they can review it, decide if they're gonna send me a replacement or not. So I'm expecting about a month turnaround here. It's gonna take 2-3 days to ship it back, a week or so for them to look at it, another 2-3 days for them to mail something back to me in the least. So yeah, I'm not expecting to get it back within a month, which really sucks. I can do some gaming on my laptop. The Crew does not run very well on that. It's, oh come on, I haven't had this issue in a long time. I thought they finally actually fixed that. Really? Anyway, but yeah, the laptop has frame rate issues really running it, despite being a high-end Intel in there. It is a few years old now, but it still has had issues with the game since Wild Run came out. It used to run it great till Wild Run came out. But, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be making any... Man, I'm driving terrible. Not sure if we're going to be making any Crew videos, at least until I get that back. I'll still be trying to play at least. But, yeah, it won't be anything impressive until I get my computer back up and running. Oh, he turned. That was funny. But yeah, I'll maybe be making some other videos for some of my other racing games or some of my other games in general. We'll see how that goes. As I started off the video with, once I get the main computer back up here and running, I have it all set up to stream. I messed around with YouTube streaming and on YouTube gaming and on Twitch. Twitch seems to be the more popular. Oddly enough, the YouTube one has more features, which I kind of like, but Twitch is definitely the more popular, and that's going to end up being what I'm doing, I believe. I already have the channel put together, it's just a matter of getting the computer back up and running. There's nothing on the channel as far as videos and things go right now. I didn't even see what the objective was. I am not doing that in a bike. That's still a bike. That's kind of funny. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Sorry for the long rant, but I just wanted to let everybody know what's going on and why I won't be posting crew videos for a little while. I'll try on the laptop and see how they come out. I just can't promise anything because the game, like I said, has run terrible on the laptop since Wild Run. Heck, it took me 4 months after Wild Run came out to even figure out how to get the game to run, because there's a bug in the crew helper program that launches when the game launches, and it won't even let the game launch. You have to actually go into the task manager and manually kill that program to even get the game to open. And somebody in the forums actually figured that out. And yeah, until they figured that out, I had a help ticket in for 4 months and never got a reply back from Ubisoft because, well, it's Ubisoft. Goes with that issue where I just ran into there about the map not loading up here, where I ran into that dead zone and had to bring up the map. That's an issue that, according to them, they can't recreate, but according to the forums, hundreds of people have, and there's seemingly no fix for it. Some days it seems to work fine, other days you hit those lines. Like, I bet if I go through here now, it'll work perfectly fine. And 75 objects, really, just because I wanted to go show that. But yeah, so it's one of those silly things. Nobody seems to know how to fix, so they just pretend it doesn't exist. Seems to be the way Ubisoft does things. Sadly, because I do like the game, they just so many issues like that that they won't fix. Oh, I know what my problem is with the steering. I have it cranked way up because I was messing with the steering wheel. So now when I'm playing with the keyboard here, it's extremely twitchy. That makes things a lot different. Now I understand. I was trying to figure out why the Ferrari in the beginning was so twitchy. And that's why. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'm going to finish out level 7 here. And go on to other things. So I got one more challenge here we're going to try to get through. I wonder if I can do the drift in the hot rod. Should be able to. Especially with the controls set up like this. And there, we finished our mission that we were working on, so I'm going to call her there. And thanks for watching. Check out my other videos, and we will see you in the next video.